friends, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to a layout share. So before I share with you the 5 pages double page layouts that I created recently, I want to tell you a little bit about the background. I was going through Pinterest just like any other creatives out there, right? We go through to Pinterest for some inspiration and ideas, and I discovered, now I know this already, but I discovered some images about that included those page kits that Simple Stories provides, wherein they give you all of the materials to create like a double page layout, and it's like a $17 kit or something to that effect. And I was looking at it and I was like, you know what, this is really like laid out nice, and I could use this as an inspiration slash sketch and just use my own supplies, because you know that's how I roll. I have way too many supplies for me to be buying anymore. So I made 5 double page layouts sorry, and I'm going to share them with you today. So the first layout is this one, and if I remember, I am going to add the inspiration to my video as I edit it. So the first layout was inspired by the butterflies. In the layout page kit, I guess that's what it's called, in the page kit, they had some butterflies on the side, and that's what really drew me to that sketch or inspiration, because I remembered I had this paper from SCI and it had beautiful butterflies. So I decided to kind of, you know, copy the design and put the butterflies on the left side. Now my photos differed, or the placement of my photos differed from the layout, just because my photos are mostly 3x4, and then also I wanted to use up some papers that are very old, and so I just kind of made this part is not the same as the page layout, but the butterfly placement is. And so I used some really old papers. I hand cut these butterflies from paper, and then I kind of created and used that as my visual triangle. These photos are of my son learning how to ride a bike, so I'm not really sure if these colors, you know, they're very dark and bold and lots of flowers and lots of butterflies. I don't know if that makes sense with the story that I'm telling, but I like how the butterfly kind of denotes that he's like flying, because he's now, you know, spreading his wings and learning some new things. So that's layout number 1. Layout number 2 has the sketch where there's a big block of paper in the center. It's actually kind of a little bit offset to the left, but I made it going to the center. Now these papers are really old as well, and I wanted to incorporate that. Now the photos, there were only like maybe 6 photos, or like 4 and then 2 on the layout inspiration. But as you know me, I love to add a lot of photos, especially with double page layouts, and so the banner doesn't really show very much, but I'm okay with that. I did mat all of my photos with white cardstock just to make it stand out. So this is one paper and this is one paper, and I was able to extend and use those papers for the double page layout by cutting them in half and just kind of splitting them, and I like how that looks. And then I did just use some die cuts that I already have, flowers and all that. Now this was during Thanksgiving break, so I did add that fall theme just to kind of connect it with the season when we did these photos. This is just fall break, and our local like entertainment center, the one that have like bowling and arcade and stuff like that, they were offering a discount wherein if you bring canned goods, then you can get a $10 gift card to use at the arcade. And so that's what I did. I brought a bunch of canned goods, and then my kids were able to play in the arcade. So moving on to layout number 3. This was actually, the inspiration was a Christmas themed page kit, but I liked how they had placed the photos in the center. In the sketch, or sorry, in the layout kit, they also have 2 vertical photos over here. And I was thinking maybe I will do like 4 horizontal 4x6 to do that, but just the way my photos were oriented, I just figured I'm just going to do 3 over here. Now I was starting to do the 3x3s, but then I thought to myself, I can expand my layout a little bit more to this side if I retain the 3x4s and then just do a 3x3 here. And so that's what I did. I spanned it out, and again, I used some papers that I already had. Now the papers are a little bit kind of more muted. I didn't want to incorporate too much design pattern on this paper just because I have a lot of colors on the photos already. I didn't want that to compete, but I did use gears because this was a trip where we had gone on the Cog Railway to go up to the summit of a very popular mountain here in our area called Pikes Peak. It's over 14,000 above sea level, so I just wanted to use the little cogs and sprocket, whatever you call them, as kind of to denote that piece there. Okay, and then I have layout number 4. Now this particular page kit did have some outdoor camping themes, so I thought it would work well for this camping trip. It had, I retained the banner over here, and then the layout, or sorry, the photo span over in the top of the layout. There was only 1 photo here, but I was able to add 2 on mine because in the page kit it was more square and mine is rectangle. I did kind of trim my 3x4 over here a little bit just so that I can have some of the paper peeking out in between that. And actually this photo is supposed to be horizontal, but I made it vertical because you can still read it even though it's vertical that way, just so that I can fit more photos in here with copying that inspiration. And then it had, the title was over here and everything, and it had a little bit of kind of a scenery over here, and I didn't really have anything to go with it, but I did pull out some of my like pre-cut die cuts, and I kind of put them together to make a little scene. Like this was a leftover from many years ago, and then there's tree, and then this sign, and then I did add some die cut gold hearts just to create that visual triangle and the repetition. I found this one in my little die cut folder. If you remember the series that I just finished, I was using a lot of my pre-cut die papers already, or images, and so I was still pulling stuff from that, and I was able to use those, as well as this word is camping. Okay, and then the last page, which is actually I would say my favorite. Again, I based it off of a page kit, and the page kit only had like 4 photos over here and then 1 photo over here. And because I have a lot of photos, I just figured I can stretch it out a little bit more. This is actually 1 paper right here. I kind of move them around so that I can make it look like it's expanded, and then I use some other papers. These are all from my stash, and so it just made me really happy that I was able to use them up. Now the page kit had like a big photo over here, and I was thinking that maybe I could put 2 more 3x4 vertical photos over here, but I felt like I could just keep them here so I don't cover all of this design. And then for the other photos that I wanted to add, I will add them into circles. So I used my die cut, or sorry, my metal die to create the circles, and I did add some matting to that just to make it stand out a little bit more. I also matted all of my photos. These are pictures of us hiking the Narrows at Zion National Park. Now, I wanted to use, of course, the place as my title, and I was going to do The Magnificent Narrows, but as you can see, there's a space right here, and I was thinking maybe I could do Magnificent The Narrows, but it doesn't make sense. So I just left Magnificent Narrows as my title. I added some hearts stars over here. Now these are actually white, and then I inked it up with purple just to kind of make that purple on my shirt stand out a little bit more. I did use my son's yellow to use some yellow on the background to bring that out as well. So those are my layouts, and again, when I edit this, I will add the pictures of the inspirations that I had used. If you guys are interested, you can always use that. I think I'm going to add this on my blog just so that you can have an easy access of the inspiration, and then also so you can see the layout that I was able to produce. So I feel like this share just kind of giving you some more ideas of where to get inspiration, that we don't always, I mean, sketches are wonderful. I love sketches. That's kind of like the backbone of my inspiration. But then we can also look at layouts and not necessarily copy it to a T, but pull some ideas from there and then use it on your layout. And if you've been following me for a while, bonus points if we are able to use our existing supplies in our stash and we don't have to go out and buy some more. So that really makes me happy, and I hope that this was inspiring to you. If you do like these videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if you like these layout shares, then maybe I can share it. There are times where I am into filming everything that I do, but there's also times where I just want to create and I don't want to film, but then maybe I'll share them at the end when I create them. So anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe and push that bell button so that YouTube will notify you when I post a new layout. Until then, I will see you when I see you. Bye.